you're gonna have green stuff all over your floor, lime color, because that falls off. I'm sorry. Okay. My character is Miss Maudie, and even though Miss Maudie isn't a character that is mentioned very much in the story, she still poses an important character in the book. She really disliked her house, to put it nicely. She always said that time spent indoors was time wasted. This is why she is seen here in her garden talking to Scout rather than inside like all of the other women in Macomb County. Miss Maudie is interesting in this way because while all the other ladies stick to housekeeping and wearing dresses, Miss Maudie likes to wear overalls and spend time in her garden. Although when she really needs to, she dresses up and acts more like a lady. When Miss Maudie's house burned down, she wasn't all that sad about it. She even claims that it would make better room for her garden. In the door, this is gonna, I'm just gonna take that off. I put two hands clasped together, which represents the theme of friendship. When Scout wasn't allowed to go with Dill and Jem, she spent her time at Miss Maudie's house. Miss Maudie had befriended the children, and according to Scout, she would make them cakes, showing that instead of just gardening, she also likes to bake. Miss Maudie also explained things to the children in more depth like Atticus would. At one point in the story, we see that she explains the phrase, "It's a sin to kill a mockingbird" to Scout, and she doesn't just brush her off like all the other adults do to the children. She's basically seen by the children the same way that the children view Atticus, like an equal. Behind the fire, I chose a flower. The flower in this case represents peace. Miss Maudie shows peace even when her house is burning down around her. Just like after the trial, she still was calm about Tom Robinson not winning. After the court, she calls Jem over to her when talking to Miss Stephanie and Mr. Avery. She brings the children inside for a slice of cake, and she takes the time to calmly explain that what Atticus had done was no accident. She explains that Atticus had made a baby step toward equality. The flower also shows her love for her garden. She spends more time in her garden than her own house. Throughout the whole novel, Miss Maudie isn't really seen that often in her house. Most of the time, she's seen gardening. One of the quotes that stuck out to me that she said was, "Why one spring of nut grass can ruin a whole yard. Look here, when it comes fall, this dries up and the wind blows it all over Macomb County." This is when Scout is confused when Miss Maudie couldn't just pull up a twig of nut grass. I think that this connects with the Tom Robinson case, where one bad person, in this case, Bob Ewell, like the nut grass, can have negativity sweep over the entire county. Scout is basically asking here why you can't just pull up the bad, either person or plant, and Miss Maudie explains that you can't just get rid of it, because it will leave a lasting effect on the things around it. Overall, Miss Maudie is a really great friend of the children, wise like Atticus, and an all-around calm and very peaceful person. That's it.